Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh Shai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh Shai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh Shai. Call I am La Abanawa, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakaha Kodash. Call I am Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to our apostles, our elders, and bishops, a great millstone who rule well and teach well on sound doctrine. Peace, love, and salutation to Akim out there doing the work with truth and sincerity. I'm the brothers of Ray Allah down here at the GMS Virginia camp, back with another lesson through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Right, and a strong shalom to the hopeful elect. Pretty much, this lesson is pretty much going to go into, you know, America is destined for destruction. All right, reason being, you see all the things going on concerning, the government shutdown, everything, in regards to politics, the people out here getting deleted. You got a lot of, things pertaining to prophecy that are going on, man, and it's just showing us the signs that what the Lord is coming back and the destruction of Babylon the Great. We're seeing this place, crumble slowly but surely. It may be slow in our eyes, but in all actuality, it's actually moving fast because, like the Lord said, shall speed up the days for the elect's sake. Well, I just wanted to read 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 22. It says, Then answered I and said, I beseech thee, O Lord, let me have understanding, for it is not my mind to be curious of the high things, but of such as pass by us daily. Namely, wherefore Israel is given up as a reproach to the heathen, and for what cause the people whom thou hast loved is giving over unto ungodly nations, right? Because we're still in captivity, we're still subject to bondage, subject to payments, Social Security, birth certificate, driver's license, all these different things, taxes, right? We're subject unto these things, and these heathens, they rule over us, all right? And the Lord, said that he loved us, that he only dealt with us, the nation of Yasha Allah, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and Seminole Indians, all right? So it says, continue on, for what cause the people whom thou hast loved is giving over unto ungodly nations, and why the law of our forefathers is brought to naught, and the written covenants come to none effect. And it says, verse 24, as we pass away out of the world as grasshoppers, and our life is an astonishment and fear, and we are not worthy to obtain mercy, what will he then do unto his name whereby we are called? Of these things have I asked, right? And pretty much Ezra is just inquiring, like, hey, man, what's going to happen? What is our, what is our future? What is going to be the end of, whatever, pretty much what's the end goal, Why are we going through the things we're going through? Why are we in captivity and all these different things? Ezra's is trying to get some understanding. That's pretty much what, everybody, pertaining, to the Israelites are seeking out. When you read Romans 11:7, it says, what then have Israel not attained that which he seeketh for? But the election obtained it, and the rest were blind. And everyone is trying to find out the answers, okay? And anyone outside, okay, of this truth don't have the answers. Okay, they don't have, and then you still have a couple few, that doesn't have the 100% truth, which we believe through the spirit that the elders and apostles from Great Millstone have the 100% truth. All right. So continuing on, it says, verse 26, then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, for the world hasteth fast to pass away. What world is this talking about? Okay, the current world that we live here in today. Okay, speaking about the Greek word, which is eon, which means rulership. What rulership are we under? We're under the rulership of Esau, Edom. All right, the rulership, you so-called Caucasians, known as the Edomites, known as the wicked, that the Bible speaks of. All right, pursuant to Daniel the 7th chapter, which I'm probably make this a part 2, but it says verse 27. It says, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come. For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. Right, and let's back that up real quick. Let's go to Revelation chapter 18. And I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is fallen. It has become the habitation of devils, the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Right, that is pretty much Babylon, destiny. All right, this is pretty much the end of Babylon the Great, because it said it is fallen. Babylon the Great is known as AKA America. That's the mystery, if you can receive it. So it says, verse 3, for all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Right. So that's going into pretty much, all these other nations with the commerce, the different trades, transatlantic slave trade, all the different oils, clothing, okay, resources, all these different things have made all these other nations, rich. Okay, because constantly, I think the term is called consumers, or America is like the biggest consumer, where they pretty much buy or have all these different ports, coming in from all these different countries and making these other countries rich. Okay, and they're feeding off of America. All right, and then, in order to have trades and dealings with America, or bonds with America, you pretty much got to be, juiced in. So with that being said, these other nations, okay, they're drinking off of the philosophies, they're drinking off of the ways of Babylon the Great, and they're implementing it into their countries via having those military installations and so on and so forth throughout all different countries, and pretty much following orders from America and doing what they're told, just to keep that alliance, or keep, being protected as far as NATO and the EU, right? So it says, verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Right. Our people speaking about the Israelites, because this place is going to be destroyed. So with that being said, because this place is going to be destroyed, the Lord is going to deliver the elect, okay, via, okay, the chariots, okay, the so-called UFOs, the same way that Yahweh was received up into a cloud, and Elijah and Enoch and so on and so forth. The same way, okay, the elect is going to be beamed up into those chariots known as the clouds in the scriptures, right? And it says, verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Right, her sins. So when you go back to 2 Esdras 4, it says, verse 27, it says, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in the time to come, for the world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. Right, so it's full of it. Okay, this rulership is full of wickedness, man. It said it reach unto the heavens. I mean, that has to be truly wicked. So therefore the Lord is allowing that to happen because of the judgment he's going to bring. Okay, the Lord is a just power. Okay, so he's going to be, in the right, and within the confines of his liberty to do as he please. All right, this place needs to be destroyed because of the wickedness, man. All right, and it says, verse 28, but as concerning the things whereof thou hast asked me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. What destruction is that talking about? It's talking about the nuclear missiles, which we'll get. All right. And it says, and therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, right? Because everything is turned upside down. Okay. These people in this world, they love wickedness, and they treat wickedness like it's righteousness. Right? And it says that the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. And that's pretty much the point, What's sown with good? The kingdom of heaven. Until this place is destroyed, okay, the kingdom of heaven cannot be established on the planet Earth, because you're not going to have two world kingdoms, or two kingdoms ruling the whole world. No, that's not how. There's only one king. All right, only one, nation is going to be ruling the whole planet Earth, and that is the nation of Yashar Allah. All right. Now, going back to Revelation 18, it says, verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double. Right, in that golden cup, which you read about in Jeremiah 51, going into philosophies of religion, the finance, all these different things. All right, the persecution, all right, the slavery, right, all those things that they gave us or made us drink. They're going to drink of that same cup, but it's going to be double punishment unto them, man. And it says, verse 7, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I said a queen am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai who judgeth her. Right? The Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is going to judge her with all these plagues, man. This is what America's destiny is, man. It's destined for destruction. It's destined for evil days and all these, things because of the wickedness. Okay? You're going to sow what you reap. All right? And it says, verse 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Right? And it says, verse 10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for 1 hour is thy judgment come. Yeah, the Lord is going to destroy this place within 60 minutes. All right? 60 minutes. Okay, and I believe America from the East Coast to the West Coast about what 5,000 miles roughly. The Lord's going to destroy this place 5,000 miles with 100 million nuclear missiles. Okay, those ICBMs, and it's going to be a whole lake of fire, and that is the hell that you Christians misinterpret, man. It's not a place where you burn forever. You're going to be burning for a long period of time in that lake of fire. If you don't repent and turn to Yahweh, you're going to be destroyed with this place, and that is the ultimate judgment. Okay, of Babylon the Great being judged in 1 hour. And why these other nations going to be wailing? Because it's going to be broadcasted throughout the news and everything. Everybody's going to hear about it, man. Everybody's going to hear about the missiles blowing this place to hell. All right. And these other nations, they're going to be mad because all the money they made off of America, they're no longer going to make it because this place is going to be a desolate place. Okay, and it spoke about like the hateful bird and the unclean animal. Hey, man, it's going to be all of that here. Nobody's going to dwell here, man. This is going to be a dust place, right? And then, yeah, that was pretty much the point on that. I did want to get 2 Ezra 6 and verse 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? And when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows? Where? Well, the beginning of what first? Okay, the first rulership, right? And it says, verse 8, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, Shalakia, he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Right, so that's spiritual, man. Because Isaac, when he, had the two sons, which was Jacob and Esau, they were twins. All right, Esau came out first, as red, and Jacob had his hand on his heel, okay, being pulled out. So Esau came out first, and then Jacob came, right? And it's beautiful because Esau had his chance to rule and so on and so forth. All right, and he messed up this whole world, and now Jacob, holding on to that hill, was pulling down the strongholds, pulling down this kingdom, okay, via Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and exposing this place, exposing these devils. We're pulling, the strongholds down. We're pulling Esau down. We're pulling his kingdom down, and then we're gonna rise up. Jacob, Yaiquab, Yashar Allah, he Prince of Power. We're gonna have that new world, or that new. Because the word new in the Greek means kainos. Everything is going to be refreshed. It's going to be a whole global reset. Okay, and you're going to have righteousness flourish throughout the whole planet Earth, man, and throughout the galaxies or wherever the Lord sees fit. The planets that He's willing, to give us, or we're going to inherit it. So with that, it's pretty much simple, man. This place is destined for destruction, and these are the judgments that's going to happen to Babylon the Great because of the wickedness, man. So with that, I pray and hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, and double honors to apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Kwame Yasharala, Mafla Ball, and Shalom.